Welcome to Inner Swim, a space for anyone called to tune within. If you're intuitive, creative, a deep feeler, earth lover, or a sensitive soul, you'll feel right at home here. I'm Jaylyn, a wellness mentor and yoga teacher supporting women to reconnect with their inner truth, root into their authentic energy, and live in harmony with their nature. So let's pour a tea and dive in. I'm so glad you're here. Sometimes you just need a hug. Sometimes you just feel like your soul needs a hug. And that's what today's episode is all about, is giving ourselves that internal hug. We're seeking support for it outside too, when we need it, and in little doses daily. So welcome to Inner Swim, and let's dive in. There are 5 daily rituals I'd like to talk about. These are very simple, grounded rituals that have worked wonders for me in my own life and continue to do so. These rituals are for those days when you just feel like you need that internal hug. To me, it feels like my soul just wants a little comfort and a little squeeze. My nervous system might need some soothing and down-regulating or balancing. And my mind just needs to rest. My brain and my mind just need to rest. So sometimes these days crop up in our luteal phase if we have a menstrual cycle. And they can crop up and pop up at any time in our lives, and also in little pockets. But if you've experienced this kind of internal longing for comfort, you already know exactly what I'm talking about. So here are 5 simple, grounded rituals that you can explore, enjoy, and I hope you find something useful in here. So ritual number 1 is make yourself some herbal tea. There's really nothing like warm water to warm and hug your insides. And when you steep that warm water, when you infuse it with a plant ally, an herb that you love, oh, it's just so nourishing. It's nourishing on so many levels. Your body loves it, your internal organs love it, your cells love it, and also your emotional self. You'll feel a sense of pleasure, and you feel a sense of being taken care of. At least for me, herbal tea has always given me this feeling of feeling taken care of, especially when I do the little ritual of brewing the tea and steeping the tea myself, working with the plant, the herbal ally that is calling to me, and letting the whole process be a ritual. So a favorite herb of mine for internal comfort, for warming, for soothing is ginger. Ginger is so warming, and it's so humble, this plant. You don't need to be a certified anything to feel comfortable with ginger root. Ginger root is something that we sometimes have in our homes. It's very available at most grocery stores. And to brew a ginger tea, you don't need any special equipment. You just need a knife and a pot and some water. And you just slice up the ginger root. You peel the skin off. You slice it up, put it in the pot with some water. Maybe set a little intention, say a blessing, and let that ginger root brew in the water on like a medium high, like a medium boil for a little while, say 15 minutes. Then let it sit, let it cool for a little bit, and enjoy, sip it, and enjoy the warmth, that gentle spice that ginger brings. Ginger also soothes our bellies, it soothes the gut, and the gut is so connected to our nervous system. So just by warming and grounding and soothing our gut, we then soothe our nervous system and therefore our whole body. And just having that internal heat with the warm water is very comforting as well. There's a reason why during all of my in-person one-on-ones and one-on-one mentoring that happens in person, and women's circles too sometimes, we begin by brewing a tea. We brew a tea, we share a pot of tea, we take a moment to sip the tea, we might talk about the tea and the plants that are in the tea. And this ritual is all very intentional. Working with water is very intentional and a great way to connect with our intuition and connect with our own sense of flow again. Water is very conscious, very healing, and a very intelligent element that we can work with, and we do work with, and I just love it. And so I just love to share this daily ritual. Number one with you is to brew yourself some delicious herbal tea. And if you're seeking down regulation, relaxation, to release and restore from maybe some stress, then you'll want to avoid herbs with caffeine in them and just stick to herbs that are non-caffeinated, or even just some warm water and honey is great. So simple daily ritual number 2 is to connect with someone who you feel comfortable with. So as human beings, we are definitely relational. We're social creatures. Whether we are introverted or not, I am definitely introverted, but I'm still a social creature. All humans are. We need actually that social connection for our health and survival. So a great daily practice is to just have a check-in person, maybe a partner, a friend, a coworker, even an acquaintance that you can meet online or a friend online, just someone that you can check in with who, when you connect with this person, you feel seen, you feel heard, you know that you are present with them and they're present with you, and it feels like a good connection. It feels like a mutually beneficial connection. Both parties are heard, seen, valued, and this goes a really long way for comfort, especially on those days, maybe in our luteal phase if you have a menstrual cycle, or on those days when we're being very harsh and critical with ourselves. And that's what's causing the lack of internal comfort, and we need some soothing again. We can lean into these relationships and just say, hey, here's what I'm thinking right now about myself. And sometimes just externalizing it is enough to release it. I know I can have a very strong inner critic sometimes, and the thoughts can berate me, but the moment I externalize them and I share them, say, with my partner, it almost sounds silly coming out of my mouth, and then it automatically loses some power. Those thoughts, some of the power leaks out of them the moment I externalize them, and it just feels good to be heard. And that person may or may not affirm something for you, but it's not really about that. It's just about being heard, seen, and valued as a human being. So that's simple, grounded ritual number 2. Number 3 is singing. So say you can't connect with somebody at the moment, well, you can always connect with your own voice. Not only does humming or singing stimulate our vagus nerve, which then soothes and kind of resets our whole nervous system, puts us into that relaxation state, rest and digest state. It also feeds us somehow on a spiritual and emotional level. When we sing, perhaps it's the way the vocal cords vibrate in our throat that gently touches the top of our heart center. Having that internal vibration is so comforting, and it kind of switches on again this almost primal aspect of our brains, which really crave song and feeling and emotion through music. I mean, music and song are as old as humanity. since humans have been how we are today. I mean, I'm no scientist, but we've always been singing and we've always been humming, and we've had a voice that we use. So, singing or humming in the shower, in the car, or just as a practice on its own, sitting in a room by yourself, maybe singing along with music, is a great way to gently touch your heart, to massage yourself internally with your own sound vibration, to help realign your voice again, and to help you express something. Sometimes on those days when we need a little comfort and soothing, we can express that feeling through our voice. And it's similar to sharing with a friend, is we can express ourselves, which then allows us to return again to our flow. It allows us to come back to a more natural state when we're letting our thoughts and emotions and feelings and energies flow like water, like they're designed to do. So a very primal aspect of being human is to use our voice for song and humming, connecting with that internal sound. And it also helps to switch on again our internal feeling, our intuition, and our inner knowing by connecting to our throat and our heart. Singing is also quite abstract, so it can help to relax and quiet our more logical and analytical side, which can sometimes feel overrun in a logically set up society. And so it's like we get to relax again and just spend a little bit of time back in our intuitive brain and get into that sing-songy side of life. So simple, grounded ritual number 4 is affirmation. Now, there's a bit of buzz going on online that affirmations don't actually work, that we need to do nervous system healing work for affirmations to work. Don't let anyone tell you that affirmations don't work. The thoughts that you have in your mind are vibration. They are indeed incredibly powerful, the thoughts that you think. And they do hold weight because they are vibrational. So the thoughts that you're thinking do have an effect on your nervous system. They do have an effect on your self-esteem. They do have an effect on your spiritual health. So affirmations are like a override. If you find a good affirmation, one that really feels good and holds a lot of weight for you, I find for me they have to be very practical. It can't be something open-ended, but it has to be something like almost tangible or simple. Maybe simple is a better word. Something that I can really kind of feel and ground into, and it's more just like a reminder. It resets my thought patterns, and it reminds me of what I actually want to believe in. So good affirmation holds some power. It holds a deeper truth and also something that you are evolving into, that you are becoming into. And so when you repeat your affirmation to yourself internally or externally or writing it down, you are reminding yourself of what you really want to believe in, what you actually want to believe in. And this helps you to override those thoughts that are maybe dragging you down, that are beating you up, or that are making you feel a little less than great, even overwhelmed or disconnected. And it's a reminder. It's like you switch your brain back to, oh yes, this is actually what I'm evolving into. This is actually what I'm becoming. This is actually more aligned with my deeper truth. And I'll repeat it and I'll say it and I will re-believe it. I reaffirm my belief in that thought, which again has a vibrational frequency. So not only is it resetting your thought patterns, but it's changing and transforming somehow your inner energetic state. The thoughts that you think, your mind will believe, your body will react to them. So if you think poorly and lowly of yourself and you have low self-esteem, then your posture will reflect that, your actions will reflect that. You'll even see it on your face. and when you feel down and out on yourself. And so the thoughts that you think are very powerful, and affirmations are like seed phrases, I am or I blank, that hold a distilled energy that we truly believe in, that we truly want to embody. So very powerful. And that's grounded daily ritual number 4. That's a practice you can do anytime, all day, if it helps, if you need it. That's a great one. Now, simple, grounded ritual number 5, last but not least, is Yoga Nidra. So if you've been on Inner Swim, my website, my platform, if you've tuned into this podcast ever before or spoken to me, you will know how passionate I am about this practice. Yoga Nidra, or yogic sleep, is a deeply restorative, meditative practice, and it's actually a form of awareness. So when we're in the state of Yoga Nidra, it's as if our bodies are asleep, but our consciousness is awake and present to the experience. So it's a deeply restorative practice for the body, for the nervous system. All the muscles get to relax in Yoga Nidra. There are techniques that we do in the practice that the facilitator guides you through that effortlessly relax all of your muscles through your whole body, your sense organs, your internal organs, and brings your nervous system into a rest and digest state again. There are some breath techniques that might be involved in a practice. There are intentions. There is a body scan. There is a technique that we do called opposites, the play of opposites, that helps to rebalance and open up our minds and open up our perception. So all of this is deeply restorative, deeply resetting, and deeply comforting. I think for me, Yoga Nidra feels so soothing and so comforting, truly, not only because I get to relax and snuggle up in this practice, not only because it feels so nourishing. Actually, I had a lovely client who recently described Yoga Nidra as like eating a really nourishing meal. And I just love that analogy, because that is what it feels like. It feels like eating a meal for your soul. When I lay down in Yoga Nidra, I feel like I'm filling up again. I feel whole again. I feel integrated. I feel like deep parts of me have just drunk in this deep, good nourishment, high quality nourishment. And then when I emerge, I just feel like myself again. And sometimes I feel sleepy, and sometimes I feel like, I really did downregulate, and I might be ready for bed at night, or I might be just really calm for the day. It's just lovely. But what I love so much, and what I think is so comforting about this practice, is the way that it reconnects us with the earth. And literally reconnects us to the earth's resonance. Being in that horizontal plane, our bodies are lying down, especially when we lie on our back. We get to plug in back again to the ground, to the earth's field. To me, this feels like such a hug because, I believe the earth is our mother. I believe the earth is very much a living being and is the mother of all living beings. And there is, just a very powerful energy field to plug into there. I mean, we come from this. We come from the earth. We're made of the elements. So to lay down again, especially in a sort of trance-like, restful state like Yoga Nidra, just feels like I'm coming back into the womb. I'm coming back to the womb of the earth. I'm coming back to dream with the earth. I'm coming back to just rest and listen as her little child who needs rest sometimes, and who needs love and support sometimes, and who needs comfort sometimes. I mean, who else has at one point or another forgotten just how kind of fragile we are as humans? We need comfort. We need love. We need to feel like we're delicate, because in some ways we are, and that's okay, because your soul and your deep essence is not fragile. But being human absolutely has its fragility, and it absolutely has its vulnerability, and there's something so comforting about welcoming that part of ourselves again and letting ourselves be held again. Sometimes our deep soul hug is something that we even lacked as children. Getting that deep presence and that deep soul hug, that deep feeling of belonging. And as we grow older, it's up to us to give it to ourselves again and again and again. And even if we had lovely parents who were deeply present with us and gave us their heart and more, we have to be able to give it to ourselves. That's part of growing up. That's part of spiritual growing up. And we get to lean into our support system. We get to lean into the unconditional love from Mother Earth. We get to lean into the support of other humans. I mean, who else has at one point or another been in kind of a sour mood with someone we're really close with? And instead of just saying to them, hey, this is how I'm feeling today, I'm feeling a little vulnerable, I'm feeling a little soft today, I'm feeling a little tender today, we were just in a sour mood, and we kind of, maybe not intentionally, but soured the environment a little bit. And so to let down our guard again and just say, hey, I'm feeling a little tender right now. I wouldn't mind a hug. I wouldn't mind for you to just say something nice about me. Tell me you love me again. Just something, let's go for a walk. I mean, this is what we can do to the earth too. And this is what I do every time I lie down in Yoga Nidra is I'm like, Mom, here I am. I'm all yours. I'm ready to come back and rest a little bit. I had a great day. I had some fun today. Or I had a very tiring day. I just need to lay here and be held. And I tell you, when we're willing to surrender like that in a practice like Yoga Nidra and let ourselves be soft and vulnerable and childlike again, we will be met with compassion. We will be met with love. Especially when we lean into those relationships we can have deep confidence in, like our relationship with Mother Earth and nature, and like our relationship with God or the universe or the divine, any language you like there. Whatever it might be, It's just about letting ourselves be human, I think. It's okay to crave comfort, and it's okay to seek it. It's very human, it's very primal, it's very natural, and it's a very lovely thing to offer yourself. It's a little comfort, a little balm for the soul, a little soothing for your nervous system. Soothe your cells. Let yourself just bathe in a bit of pleasure and comfort for a little while if that's what you need today. There will be plenty of challenges to come along the way, so don't be shy to give yourself comfort on the other side of things, because in softening we do meet more of our strength. So that feels pretty complete. I hope you enjoyed those 5 simple grounded rituals. And again, they were herbal tea or just a nice warm water, connecting with a friend or loved one or partner, humming or singing, affirming yourself with an affirmation, a positive thought, a high vibrational thought, and Yoga Nidra. So take what you like, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I just am sharing what really helps to comfort and soothe me. And hey, there are so many other things too. I mean, there are countless things really that I can think of that could be comforting and soothing. But I find these 5 are just, readily available, especially when you go to Inner Swim, because I do have lots of Yoga Nidra resources. But honestly, if you just spend some time lying on your back, even if you can just do that for a few minutes, you will be comforted and the earth will hold you. So thank you so much for tuning in, dear one. If you're tuning into this podcast, chances are you are a highly sensitive, intuitive, deep feeler, and I see you, I hear you, I am a witness for us and for you. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found something really lovely here. If you have, maybe share it with a fellow deep feeler friend. And do take really good care of yourselves. Thanks again, loves. Until next time, be well. Thanks for being here and listening, dear one. You can find all of my offerings at innerswim.com. And if you feel called to go deeper into this work, I encourage you to check out intuitive practices like womb yoga, energy healing, Yoga Nidra, and more. I can't wait to connect with you. I'll see you over at Inner Swim. With love, Jaylyn.